Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we're going to break down a really simple but super powerful system for managing your money. It's called the 50-30-20 rule. And trust me, this isn't about boring spreadsheets or complicated apps. It's just a straightforward game plan that, well, it actually works. Okay, let's dive in.
You know that feeling, right? You get to the end of the month, you peek at your bank account, and you just think, this. Like, seriously, where did it all go? You work hard, you're earning money, but somehow it just seems to evaporate. It's a super common, and man, is it a frustrating feeling.
And here's the thing I really want you to hear. It's not your fault. For real. Most of us were just never taught this stuff. They taught us algebra and history, but kind of forgot the whole how to not be broke lesson. So we're all out here just winging it, trying to figure it out. But don't worry, there is a system that can fix this.
So, let's put a name to this whole thing. Let's call it the disappearing paycheck problem. It's that cycle, right? You get paid, you cover your bills, and then, poof. Without a plan, it's just way too easy for the money to vanish before the next payday even hits.
I mean, this just says it all, doesn't it? We spent years learning to solve for X, but nobody ever sat us down and showed us how to divide a paycheck so we don't end up with zero. And that is the exact gap this simple rule is designed to fill.
All right, enough about the problem. Let's get to the solution.
I want you to think of the 50-30-20 rule as your own personal, simple money map. Instead of just letting your cash wander off and get lost, you're finally going to give it some clear directions.
So here's the absolute core of it. All this rule is a simple framework. You just take your income, the money you actually take home after taxes, and you split it into 3 big buckets. That's it. No complicated math, no drama.
And here's what those 3 buckets look like. 50%, so half your money, goes toward your absolute needs. We're talking rent, groceries, the essentials. 30% is for your wants, you know, the fun stuff like dinners out, Netflix, whatever makes you happy. And that last 20%, that's for your future, savings, investments, and knocking down debt.
So how do you start? Like, right now. It's 3 simple steps. 1, figure out exactly what your monthly take-home pay is. 2, apply those percentages we just talked about. And 3, and this is the magic part, you give every single one of those dollars a job to do. That's how it stops disappearing on you.
And look, I really need to hammer this point home. Budgeting has this bad rap of being all about restriction, about saying no to everything fun. This is the opposite. This is about clarity. It's about finally feeling in control of your money, maybe for the very first time. Okay, now we've got to talk about the most crucial piece of this entire puzzle. Because honestly, the biggest trap, the reason most budgets fail, is that people don't really know where their money is actually going. And this quote just nails it. The sneakiest mistake is mislabeling your expenses. We are experts at justifying our spending, right? We call our wants needs. And that one little mental trick is enough to throw the whole system out of whack and leave us wondering why we're broke again. This is where we have to get brutally honest with ourselves. Needs are the things you literally cannot survive without. Your rent or mortgage, your lights and water, basic food from the grocery store. Wants are pretty much everything else. Your streaming services, takeout, that weekend shopping trip, and yeah, even that daily coffee that feels like a need but isn't. So as you start looking at your own spending, just use this simple question as your filter. And listen, this isn't about guilt trips. It's just about getting clear. Ask yourself, do I truly need this to survive, or does it just make my life more fun or convenient? Just separating those two is the absolute key to making this whole thing work.
Okay, but I know what some of you might be thinking. That sounds great, but it just won't work for my situation. Well, the good news is this rule is not rigid. It's flexible. You can absolutely adapt it, whether you're swamped with debt or you're working with a lower income.
First up, let's talk directly to anyone who feels like they're just drowning in debt. I get it. It can feel totally impossible to even think about saving money when you've got these bills breathing down your neck. But you can absolutely tweak the rule to work for you.
So here's what you do. You temporarily repurpose that 20% savings bucket. It becomes your debt killer zone. You throw that entire chunk of your income at your highest interest debt, just attacking it month after month. Then, once that debt is gone, you flip that 20% right back to building your savings and investments.
Now, what about if your income is on the lower side? What if 50% for your needs just doesn't cut it? Sometimes just surviving, just paying rent and bills, takes up way more than half your paycheck. And trying to force these percentages can just feel defeating.
So you adjust. Maybe your budget looks more like 70-15-15. Your needs category gets a much bigger slice of the pie, but you're still, and this is the important part, You're still intentionally setting aside smaller chunks for wants and for savings. Because what matters most is building the habit of telling your money where to go.
Okay, you have the map. You know the rules. Now it is time to actually put this thing into practice. So we're going to end with a really simple, totally doable challenge to get you started today.
Here it is. For the next 30 days, just track everything. Every single penny you spend. You don't need a fancy app. Just use the Notes app on your phone. At the end of the week, group all that spending into our 3 buckets: needs, wants, and savings. I promise you, you will be amazed and maybe a little shocked to see where the real money leaks are.
This quote just perfectly captures the feeling you'll have after those 30 days. Your finances won't be a mystery anymore. It's like you've been stumbling around in a dark room and you've finally found the light switch. And once you see everything clearly, it's really hard to go back to living in the dark.
That's what this whole system is about, really. It's about gaining that clarity, taking back control. It gives you the power to stop wondering where your money went and start directing it toward the life you actually want to live. So, the only question left is, are you ready to turn on the lights?